this morning.
Okay, I'd like to call the Human Resources and Public Works Committee to order. We get a motion on the agenda, please.
Sure can. I'd like to approve the agenda as set.
Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. Our next item is call to the public. Do we have any public online?
There is not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
And there's none in the audience here. So then we'll go to our first item, which is consider approving grant agreement accepting terms of the Mount Pleasant Area Community Foundation for the 2024 Art from the Park event funds in the amount of $3,000 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. So we have Alexis Hanson, Parks and Rec Director here, to explain this item to us.
Hi, good morning. So this is a grant for the Art from Our Park event. The application for this grant already came before the board, so I think there's a little bit of familiarity, and of course, you're familiar with the program. And so they did award us that grant for $3,000 to fund the 2024 Art from Our Park. And there's an agreement that comes along with accepting those funds. And so we need a signature from the chairman on that agreement. And it's a very straightforward agreement. We get the funds, we do our event, we do a progress report and a final report. There's no match required, nothing like that. So that is what this item is. Any questions?
Do you, afterwards, like this is approved, you send out some sort of a thank you letter or to the agreement? I just think it's just good.
Yeah,
PR.
yeah, we absolutely should and can. And
They donate a ton of things.
yeah, they have their impact on the community. I just attended their annual breakfast and it was $1 million number of community support. So I mean,
yeah,
it's a huge impact.
That would be the only thing I'd say. This is a program that's been going on for a while, and it's just a nice program. They get a lot of people into the park, and
absolutely.
Yeah,
I will add that to my.
Okay.
To my.
Other than that, no. All good. I'd make a motion to consider approving the grant agreement, accepting terms of the Mount Pleasant Area Community Foundation for the 2024 Art from Our Park event funds in the amount of $3,000 and authorize board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 4 to the work and regular sessions of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The motion carries. Item 4 will be forwarded to next week's meetings. Okay, our next item, consider approving the Pierre Marquette Rail Trail Improvement Project Budget Amendment number 2024-02 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Okay, what do we have here?
So this budget amendment is part of a project that we had hoped to finish in fiscal year 2023, and then we ran into multiple delays, some being on the administrative end, as far as my administrative tasks for the project, and then others being weather-based delays because we were doing seal coating, and doing that in the fall we were running into we'd have it planned set to go out and do it, and then we wouldn't have the temperatures we needed, or we would get precipitation. And so basically there were a couple phases to this project where some seal coating was going to be done, a full-on vegetation clearing of the entire 8.25 mile corridor was going to be done. And then we actually were able to secure some grant funding to add mile marker signage to the entire Isabella County section of the trail. So it's kind of the full scale of this project is doing a kind of overhaul, improving the trail, and then moving forward, getting it on a regular maintenance schedule so that we're keeping that trail up to a really good quality for the community. And so basically what happened was in fiscal year 2023, $20,000 had been approved. Because of the delays, we were able to complete the portion of seal coating, spending 11,000. We weren't able to do the vegetation trimming and the signage installation. So what we're asking is that we can add $9,000 to the 2024 budget to continue completion of the project. That's basically the unspent amount that was approved in 2023, but obviously we're asking to add it to the budget. We're not asking for additional funding for the project. We just need to add it to this year's budget. I did want to note that as I sort of touched on, we did secure $6,000 from the Friends of the Pere Marquette Rail Trail Group and the Mount Pleasant Area CVB, which allowed us to expand the scope of the project without tapping into our funding more, our parks fund more. So I feel like we've done our work to kind of try to bring in some additional funding and really we'd like to just be able to do this budget amendment, complete the project and have the trail in really good shape for the community. So any questions?
I just see that there's a typo there in the other considerations. It says there's just 9 with 2 zeros instead of 3 zeros.
Oh, good catch. That can certainly be corrected.
Any other comments or questions on this?
How does this, you're going through different counties and does this bring us up to speed with what's before us and what's after us?
Good question. So it's actually really interesting. So there is just right around 1 mile in Clare. And there is 21 miles that go through Midland County with a portion of that being kind of housed in the city limits. So the city of Midland maintains it. And yes, actually, as our planning for this was taking place, I met with, his name's Patrick Clark. He's the park manager for Midland County. Because they're undergoing an upgrade project right now too. So, and actually the individual who's doing the vegetation clearing for us, he won the bid outright, but he was recommended to us by Midland County. They use the same individual, the same contractor. So very much so getting us on the same page as Midland County, getting us up to speed. And we actually, when we were working through designing the signs, we were working together with Midland and Clare and the Friends of the Rail Trail Group and the CVB. We had input from all of those partners on the design of the signs. And actually the mile marker signs are going to be really nice because they have our Isabella County Parks logo, but then they also have those sponsor logos. And so they give some good recognition. But one other thing I want to mention in regards to the neighboring counties. So when you get to the end of what is the locally owned Pere Marquette Rail Trail, there's a gap, roughly 2.5 mile gap. And then further into Clare County, another section of rail trail that's actually owned by the state and managed by the DNR starts. And they have secured funding so that within the next year to 2 years, that state portion is actually going to be connected to our locally owned portion. And so there's a potential here that we're going to have this really great trail corridor running through our county that connects to a very long trail system. And so as we're planning anything to do with this, we're working with the surrounding counties and even the DNR partners so that we can have a similar aesthetic, we can have a similar quality.
Yes.
And this project specifically almost is bringing us up to par with the neighboring sections of the trail.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
That's really
Great
exciting.
question.
Yeah, it is very exciting. And then it allows us to really get on a good maintenance schedule with it too, which is very helpful for our staff. They don't feel like they're scrambling and always playing catch up after this gets done.
Yeah, I just want us to look as good as.
Absolutely, me too. Me too.
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to consider approving the Pere Marquette Rail Trail Improvement Project Budget Amendment number 2024-02 and authorize board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 5 to the work and regular session of the county commission. All those in favor next week, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Ayes carry. Item 5 will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alexis.
Okay, our next item is consider approving the memorandum of agreement between Region 7 Area Agency on Aging and Isabella County for the evidence-based Tai Chi for Arthritis Program in the amount of $3,816 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. We have Jennifer Crawford, the MSA director. What do we got here, Jennifer?
Good morning. So we've been recipients of this funding for several years now. This is the Title III funding from the Older Americans Act, which allows you to spend or receive funds to support evidence-based programming. And our Tai Chi program is considered one of those programs. It's a very popular program here. And so for doing something we would already be doing, which is wonderful, we're able to be reimbursed for some of the funding to support the program. So with this MOA, we will receive $3,816 from Region 7 Area Agency on Aging to help support that program and keep it going. It's very popular. We have 2 different levels of the class that are taught on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you might peep in the fitness room this morning sometime. They're usually in there, I think around 9. There's a couple classes that take place. It is a very popular class. It's awesome to watch.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, yeah. Let's take the money and keep exercising.
That's right.
That's a good way to put it.
Oh, it's a nice opportunity that we're meeting out here this morning. It
Yeah.
might be a nice time to touch
There you go.
that.
All right, I make a motion to consider approving the grant agreement between the Mount Pleasant Area Community Foundation and Isabel County for, I'm way.
Yeah, that's it. Next
I'm
one.
sorry.
That's right.
Consider approving the memorandum of agreement between the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging and Isabel County for the evidence-based Tai Chi arthritis program in the amount of $3,816 and authorize the board chair to sign this.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 6 to the regular and work session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Ayes carry. Item 6 will be forwarded to next week's meetings. Okay. Our next item is consider approving the grant agreement between Mount Pleasant Area Community Foundation and the Isabella County for durable medical equipment in the amount of $6,000 for the period of October 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Okay, so these next 2 items are again, just another example of our awesome relationship that we have with CMU. And that grant writing class continues to gain experience in writing grants, hands-on experience writing grants, working right with our team directly. And so they've written, we still have other ones that they've already written that we're holding on to wait to submit. But these 2 we submitted in this last round and they were both approved. So this one is the durable medical equipment. So we have a DME program here at Commission on Aging where we take in gently used equipment, walkers, canes, wheelchairs, shower chairs, commodes, like there's just a wide variety of equipment that we do take in. We clean it. And then when anybody contacts us in need of equipment like that, we just loan it out free of charge. And it's just a loaning program because a lot of insurances don't cover those expenses and they are expensive for someone to have to go out if someone's having surgery or something. And then we just ask that they return it when they're done using it. And it's been a great program. And this will allow us, some days you just never know what we have. And so we could walk into that closet or in that room where we store it and it's over full. Like you can't even hardly walk in because we've taken in so much. And then you walk in the next day and it's like gone. Like, holy cow, where did it go? It's amazing how it gets used. And so this will allow us to have some funding where we can actually purchase things if we have a need. So our case manager is working with clients because they will take things into the homes when they go on home visits as well. So it's not just folks having to come in and get it. And this will allow us to have some funding that we can dedicate specifically to purchasing some of that equipment when needed.
Great.
I'm sure that it helps people who want to stay in their home when they have challenges, physical challenges.
Absolutely.
And that's always so important.
Absolutely help with balance and help give them confidence for not falling. And yes, it is really wonderful.
I think it's a great program.
Is there, I had a question. If I remember it. I just had it and then okay, now, I'll make a motion then to consider approving the grant agreement between Mount Pleasant Area Community Foundation and Isabel County for durable medical equipment in the amount of $6,000 for the period of October 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 7 to the work and regular sessions of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The motion carries. Item 7 will be forwarded to next week's county commission meetings. Okay. Okay, our next item is consider approving personal emergency response systems PEERS grant agreement between the Mount Pleasant Area Community Foundation and Isabella County in the amount of $2,235.40 for the period of October 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Okay, let's help out with this.
So again, another grant through Community Foundation that was written by CMU students with the assistance of our support of our staff. Specifically Jen Martin worked with these students. So the PERS units, we are able to, through Region 7 Area Agency on Aging, they have some special funds that while they're available, organizations can use them or tap into them. And it's just while they have them, what they have. And so through that funding, we're able to help individuals receive or get these PERS units, which would be like the Guardian or something like that. So if they fall, they can just push the button and have help come to them. But then this will allow us some funding when that money is gone. We get reimbursed for those, and this will allow us to help other individuals who maybe would not qualify for the funding through area agency, but to help them secure this to again help them stay in their home longer, have confidence being home alone if they are, and just have that safety and security of being able to push that button for help. It is a wonderful gift, and also it's really, helps families feel comforted to know that their loved one has that on them, on their body, and this will allow us to help those who maybe would not be able to afford it to get them started on it.
Yeah, I'd say this is an all-around problem solver.
Yep. Good, just the whole comforting thing with your family. Yeah. Okay, I'll make a motion to consider approving the personal emergency response system PERS grant agreement between the Mount Pleasant Area Community Foundation and Isabella County in the amount of $2,235.40 for the period of October 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 8 to the regular and work sessions of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 8 will be forwarded to next week's county commission meetings. Thank you, Jennifer.
Does that seem so much longer than normal this morning?
Well, it's probably working a little harder this morning.
I don't remember being that loud. It's a little loud today.
Okay, is there any announcements?
All good.
No? Okay. Boy, at that meeting that I went to yesterday, Health and Human Services, lots of counties were, going through the same thing about recruitment and retention, and also raising up wages to be
No, it's a huge problem.
similar to the ones around them. And,
Yeah.
We're not in this alone.
Yeah.
The asbestos thing, yeah, we're alone, but those other things, yeah, they're pretty universal right now.
Right. And they also talked a little bit about what laws got passed and what laws didn't get passed. I'm so glad that that childcare thing was immediate, you know, like the 75% reimbursement instead of 50. But as far as the citing of renewable energy stuff, that's not going to be in effect till a year from November 8th, because that didn't get full effect in the.
Just don't understand. If there's counties with their hands up saying we'll take them, then why is there a need to force the siting? You know, like,
It's connected to the other part of the energy bills that passed, and that has
The
to do
mandate.
targets to change Michigan to be a lot more active in climate change, and it's really one of the most progressive ones in the whole country. But if they didn't pass that other part, it wouldn't have, it's not going to be achieved. So they're kind of put together, and like before, lots of times townships and all that, they would pass rules that made it totally infeasible for wind turbines to go in and stuff like that. So, you know, it's and it says there's some local control, but really there really isn't.
there's an option for local control if it works.
Yeah,
Right?
and
then if
there's
it doesn't work, then
right,
it's
and there's
state.
like a threshold. If it's above so many megawatts,
Mhm.
then, you know, the Public Service Commission deals with it, and if it's lower, you can. But lots of counties still have time to, because the way it works with the new one is, instead of having your county do the site plans and all that stuff with escrow and that sort of thing, or remediation for enforcement, it would be the state that does that.
Mhm.
So I said, well, you know, counties, you have the time now to, because here we had the farmers, they're the ones that, because there was a lot of complaining about contracts with energy companies. But I said, you know, right now, like we did in Isabella County, the farmers themselves got an attorney, and they developed the agreements between
Mhm.
them and the energy, and that's a good way to do it.
Mhm.
So
I think we
but-
got a good example.
yeah. And so yeah, there was only 4 people there. Most people came by Zoom, but I went there and I was real happy because I had lunch with my son. So
Nice,
at the library there at East Lansing,
nice, good.
and it wasn't that snowy, but there's more snow down there than there is here.
Mhm.
Then as I came
Surprise,
further north, it
surprise.
started snowing.
It's upon us.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Are you calling it adjourned, sir?
Oh, I'd like to adjourn the meeting of the Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
How's Mr. Shoemaker doing?